What's up, gang, and welcome back to another edition of Road Trippin' with the Rudes.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us as we do the Rudes real review of Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
That's right.
Count them. 10.
And this was only in theaters.
Whew. Guys,
Which I'm cool on that. Don't do that no more.
let me just say this.
Don't do that.
Before we get into it, if this is your first time tuning in, please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this video, and share this video. Guys, this was our first time back to the movie theater.
And it can be the last one.
I was looking forward to it. I was excited. I wanted the environment and the rush. It wasn't given what. So
one, my screen's better. Two, my sound system was better.
And I don't know if it's because movie theaters were down for so long that some of their stuff just needs to be fine-tuned. Comment down below if you have been to the theaters since and, you know, what your thoughts were. Disney, I need you to allow for premiere access. Okay, I will pay the $30 forever and a day to avoid this. Yeah. One, we didn't bring the girls because it's too peoply outside and we want them to be safe. So it was just Corey and I. And it just wasn't the best situation. But I will say this. I am glad we went.
The movie definitely made up for it, but I was mad annoyed in there.
Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It's top 5. It's top 5, and I've only seen it once. I need to see it some more.
Whoa. Pump your brakes.
Said what I said.
Pump your brakes.
Listen, Ten Rings was like...
Prisoner of the moment.
No.
Yep.
Nope. 10 Rings was like Nas's One Mic. When it came, it was refreshing. We had gotten to get some of the Black Widow muck off of us. Let's just say, guys, Black Widow could have been better, right? So we were very, at least me, apprehensive at another origin story.
I'll give you this. It was the best origin story since Iron Man 1.
Guys, if you don't do so already, please be sure to tune in. We go live every Monday to talk about What If, What's Next, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will talk about this because it is definitely, it may be one of the best origin stories. I'm not going to say that yet because I've only seen it once. Rewatchability, extremely high. Payoff, extremely high. So let's get into it. Mm-hmm. There's no buildup. Guys, it starts with a bang. Mm-hmm. You hear the story of you hear the origin story of the Ten Rings, right? As he travels through his life. It was almost giving me Star-Lord's dad kind of backstory, like I've searched everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you have this amazing fight scene, which began in 1996. He had conquered everywhere around the world. He's bored at this point, but he wants to go to Ta Lo, because he hears that they have some magic or a dragon or something. And
you said 1996?
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't get past his first line of defense, which is Laiko, who becomes the Mandarin. We'll just say the Mandarin at this point, right? Becomes the Mandarin's love interest. How are you feeling about that fight scene?
No, that was fire. Everything, you know me, I'm an old kung fu flick watching guy. So I loved all the fight scenes. I loved it. Like, they kept it real. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon-ish right there.
Listen. The Mortal Kombat franchise. Take notes. This is how you do it. Mm-hmm. This is absolutely how you do it. This was giving me full-on Ip Man. And guys, if you haven't watched Ip Man, check him out. But Mortal Kombat, I'm so mad at you right now because this is what you were supposed to do.
Mortal Kombat was good though, but yes. I know
Highly debatable.
But nobody can do this Marvel stuff other than Marvel.
Oh my God. So you have, basically Leiko. Then you see, fast forward, she's talking to her son, Shang Chi, about the origin of the Talo dragon. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And very much so like Frozen Into the Unknown, they're hearing these stories as a child, but they're thinking it's fantasy.
Yeah.
Right? You can't even imagine that this really exists. But your mom's she's dropping some gems for you.
Mm-hmm.
And while she drops some gems, she also gives you a jade necklace. Says to keep it with you at all times.
Yep. It'll keep you safe.
It will keep you safe. This is next level. I stand, guys. So then you fast forward to current day and you meet Shang-Chi, who's valet.
Yep.
And you meet his BFF, who is Katie. And Katie is played by Awkwafina, who was also a part of Raya and the Last Dragon. She did the voice for the dragon. Mm-hmm. So what were your thoughts about them bringing Awkwafina on?
At first I was like, man, for what? But then after I seen the movie, perfect comic relief. She played her role perfectly. I actually liked her in this.
Awkwafina was amazing. She gave me throwback, funny female lead feels. She was giving me, I'm going to tell my age at this point, she's giving me Gilda Radner feels, Goldie Hawn, Whoopi Goldberg, where you could easily be, a Bond girl, but you have humor and you have depth.
Yeah.
And I was here for it. I absolutely was here for it. They're doing karaoke. You see them meet with their adult friend, right? She's adulting now. She's got a partner. She's in a law firm. And it's the actress that played To All the Boys I Loved Before, played the lead role. I loved seeing her.
Okay.
I think the cast was brilliant. The casting
was great. Yeah.
The casting was absolutely brilliant. Then you see this amazing bus scene. And listen, I know that we had a train scene in Captain Marvel, but this was giving me all types of Speed feels. If you guys remember that, Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, this was the scene. The only thing that was missing was I was waiting to see Stan.
Oh.
I was waiting to see Stan.
I forgot
I get it.
Try to look for him.
The bus scene would have been the perfect scene for Stan to be in. So I kind of got melancholy with that. But they steal his pendant. So that's the first time we see Razor Fist. Do you want to shed some light on Razor Fist?
No, he's just exactly what he was in this movie. Just a guy with a razor fist. It wasn't pronounced like how his was in the movie. They upgraded him, but yes. He is who he is. That's just what he is.
He was the Claw without vibranium.
Right.
So I was here for it. I was here for that fight scene. He then knows, okay, listen, my dad is coming. Katie has no idea who his dad is. By the way, I loved their San Francisco life. I loved how he went to visit Katie. Katie's grandmother was there. She was preparing for the Day of the Dead. I was here for the culture.
There's a lot of things going on in San Francisco at one time.
And you're talking about from Ant-Man, Shuri, and Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to take it a step further, this is not in the MCU, but Venom's in San Francisco too.
Yes. And we saw the Venom 2 preview, and I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. But, to quote Tennessee Williams, there are only 3 cities. It is New York, San Francisco, and New Orleans, and everything else is Cleveland. San Francisco is where it's at right now. Mm-hmm. We had Phase 4 centered around New York. Now it's time for San Fran to get some time.
Seems that way.
They're having us fall in love with a whole new cityscape.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Marvel. thank you. Like, it was just amazing. So then he goes to find his sister, which we didn't even know he had a sister. Now, in the comic, does he have a sister?
I don't know. I ain't checked for no Shang Chi comics.
I'm interested now. Like, any of our comic heads, in the comments, let us know if he had a sister. You then see this, like, Majapur, shout out to Falcon and Winter Soldier, kind of city, right? And if you haven't seen our reviews for Falcon and Winter Soldier, the series will include it. Gave me Black Panther feels.
Yep.
So I was here for it.
Same. I was thinking the same thing. Like, yo, this is, lack of a better phrase, this is the Asian Wakanda.
I think this is what I'm going to say. As much as we needed Wakanda, we also need Talo. And I'm so grateful for it because it was necessary.
Right.
Right? And I think it was great because you have Katie and Sean. He says his name is Sean, but it's Shang, right? You have Katie and Sean super Americanized. And I thought about it, and they picked the one song. Guys, if you want to unify the country, don't talk about mask, no mask. You know what? Set up a bunch of speakers and play Hotel California. We can all unite under Hotel California. You follow that up with Sweet Caroline, and all problems will be solved. Like, no matter... Did you just wake up one day and know Hotel California?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't know how I learned it.
You know it.
Yeah.
What a lovely place. What a lovely face.
Hilarious.
We all know it. So I thought that was great.
Yeah.
You then have them kind of like going to find their father and flashing back to when he was a child.
You ain't talking about Abomination in there. None of that.
See, this is why we're together. He's
Wong in there fighting.
He's the yin to my yang, the wu to my tang. We are together. So there is, and that was in the trailer. You see the scene where Katie and Shang-Chi, they fly over, they arrive at this club scene, right? This Macau club scene, looking for his sister. There are some fights. Do you think when they were walking through, and the guy said, "Oh, good job, Helen," or something, he spoke the one fighter's name. Do you think that will pay off at some point?
I gotta go back and see. I didn't pay attention to that.
Shang-Chi, I was here for Shang-Chi going viral on the bus scene.
I know, that was funny.
That was pretty funny. Because that would be Corey. Corey would be filming like, okay, World Star, here we go. So I was here for it.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about the ring? So he looks out. There are fights going on through the halls. And then he looks out to this huge, huge ring. Who was in the ring?
Abomination and Wong.
Now, what was Abomination in the Hulk?
Well, he was just an experiment that Thunderbolt Ross did that went wrong. He was trying to get somebody
Thunderbolt's
some super
so messy. Thunderbolt is so messy, guys. So
that's the short version.
Short version, right? Wong gets Abomination to beat himself up, right? Wong uses the rings. He's so smart.
But then he takes him with him, so I don't know what that's about.
Doctor Strange is coming. No Way Home is coming. It's happening. And it's moving full speed ahead. We then meet his sister Ling Ling. Badass. Okay? My red lipstick is in honor of her. She was amazing. The fight scene between Shang-Chi and Ling Ling was like...
That was crazy. I thought... when they walked in there, though, I had got mad Power Broker vibes. I thought we were going to...
Majapur, right? Yeah. It was definitely that energy. And I think one of the things that I appreciate is the continuity of Marvel. Even with the series give you movie quality. It wasn't like a cheapened version. You completely were able to connect the dots. So I was here for it.
Nah, this was good. It kept you in the movie. You know what I mean? Engaged. But then it had comedy, then it had fighting, then it had the love story. It had it all in one movie.
Marvel, we know you're watching because I've been asking for comic relief, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
And it delivered, but not in a cheesy, like, who did the writing
We got
way.
it in,
it was brilliant.
We got it in
brilliant.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes, we did, but I wanted more. I loved the action. So they're at his sister's place, Macau, and the father's crew rolls up. And then you see some more epic fight scenes. And then you see some special effects. You see stuff on the side of the building. You see all of these things until they're captured.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the dad is like, hey, welcome home. Like, he didn't just beat the brakes off of them and blow up a building. The dad's many levels, and he's evil, but he's still a dad. It gave me Vulture vibes from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Comment down below if you agree, but that whole thing of, like, I'm going to be evil, and then I'm going to drive you to prom. Kind of that energy,
Mm-hmm.
which I think, again, Marvel always makes it, your villains you love to hate.
Right.
Right? Because you can always connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
We then see the 10 plus year payoff of the Mandarin. Mm-hmm. Because the actor that played the Mandarin is in his compound. He's in jail. And then we're introduced to the cutest, faceless, mythical creature there ever was. 4 wings and 6 legs of fuzzy, roly-poly Morris. Guys, you can get the merch out at any time. I'm here for the 10 rings. I need 5 on each arm, as you can see. Mm-hmm. And I need some Morris action. Thanks in advance. Morris Loungefly, thanks in advance.
I don't know. I wasn't really feeling Morris like that.
So, fast forward, the dad's convinced that the mom is being held captive in Tai-Lo, so he wants to go there. They beat him to the punch, and they arrive. And you see a bunch of mythical creatures, which gave me the Chronicles of Narnia. Like, it was giving me Narnia, and I love that aspect of things. I love the Harry Potter aspect of creatures and so forth. And if you are a Harry Potter person, we had a tour of their shop in New York, and we'll include that in there. But I'm here for this. I'm here for them going out of our universe.
Yeah, they got to. That's where it's going. But I felt like I was getting Pandora.
Yeah. Listen, and by we, I mean Disney. We absolutely need a Wakanda, and we need a Tai-Lo. We need a Tai-Lo. Especially in Disneyland, because they don't have Pandora. We need it. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I loved hearing the origin story, like having the aunt talk about it. Yep. And,
I think that's what it was. It was... You're getting the action, you're getting the story, but then you're getting the flashbacks to tell you, this is what was going on. As the story's progressing, it does it, in increments. It jumps back a couple times to catch you up. That was the part I liked about it. Instead of all in the beginning, giving me everything from jump, you know what I mean? Right. And then now, at the end of the movie, you had a big climax. Nah, it was throughout. It was sprinkled throughout.
This is how you do an origin story.
Yeah.
This should be the blueprint for all origin stories to follow.
Yeah.
I need my Eternals to be action-packed, comedic relief, and also have that origin story in there. I loved when he was in the water after his dad beat the brakes off of him. Did you notice anything? They were like air bubbles, right? Mm-hmm. But then they were O-shaped, hollow bubbles that were going into him. So he didn't need the rings to have the power. He's the 2.0 of his dad because he also has the backing of Tai-Lo, the dragon.
Well, his mom said he had the heart of the dragon. He's part of that.
Yes.
And obviously the sister was too, because they were both on it, controlling the dragon.
I love seeing Katie find her way with, aim for the sky or die.
Mm-hmm.
That attitude. I love some of the things that they said, when they talked about, a blood debt must be paid by blood. Right? That's very martial art.
Yeah.
They kept true to the integrity of that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, guys, we will be watching it again. I'm freaked out by the theaters, but we will be watching it again. I love the fact that you get to see the action, you get to see the fight scene. The battle was beyond epic. The lions look like Tibetan Mastiffs to me, which was the dog that we wanted, but we ended up going with Cane Corso. So we have T'Challa, right? But it was so action-packed that it definitely, and I don't mean to equate it to different movies, but I'm stating movies that I really love. Mm-hmm. It was very much so like the battle scene in Black Panther. Except it wasn't rhinos. I loved the action. I don't want to overtalk the epic fight scene battle, but I do want to say at the end of the movie where you see Katie and Shang Chi, back in San Francisco, kind of like nothing happened, right? Mm-hmm. Talking with their friend. I loved it because you could see they were like holding on to each other. You could see there's some romance there. Mm-hmm. They didn't make it like, super obvious, but you saw the romance was there. And then you know what? Who pops up? Wong. Wong always pops up. And I could just be hopeful. Wong, I was looking like, hey, is that the TVA behind Wong?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
there were too many books. It didn't look like the Sanctum.
Nah, he was in the library. They was just doing too much. I think. I don't know.
Wong. What, having Wong?
Yeah.
Well, make up your mind, because we always complain that Wong's never there. Now he's here. Now you don't want him here?
Well, he's there, but he ain't doing wizard work. He needs to be doing some wizard work.
He burned a hole through time. Stepped out of a bar in San Francisco while still half of him was in a library. And that's not enough wizardry for Corey.
Yeah, Stephen Strange ain't feeling what Wong's doing on his off days.
It's the hate for me. I'm glad to see what Wong does on his off days. But he's really fighting monsters and stuff. And Wong, so I'm sorry.
He's just fighting to be fighting. I don't even know what he's doing. But go ahead, I'm listening.
I will say this. I appreciated the way that they hinted to the snap, but they didn't make it awkward like Far From Home did. Mm-hmm. Wong's like, come on, we've got to talk. And then you see them kind of examine the 10 rings.
Yes. Which I think that was setting up the Eternals. Because they had Captain Marvel there. Mm-hmm. For what reason? I have no idea.
It's the hate for me, guys.
And then they had Bruce Banner there.
What happened to Professor Hulk?
I don't know. They got to talk about that, too.
I need some explaining. And I understand that Infinity War and Endgame were a part of the Hulk's arc. Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame. They were all a part of Hulk's arc. But you're not going to have Banner show up with a broken arm, no less.
No. That's his arm from the snap.
But
it was in a sling.
Did Professor Hulk have it in a sling? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need Professor Hulk back. End of story. Long story short, bring Professor Hulk back. But they're trying to examine it. It's older than thousands of years old. It's not vibranium. It's nothing that Captain Marvel's seen. And then she pulls a Wong and leaves. Yeah. I'm excited. 10 rings to be continued.
So I'm thinking the rings are, artifacts from the Eternals.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
I thought it was crazy how when Shang-Chi has it, they're red.
Orange or whatever.
Yeah, and when the father had it, they were blue.
Yeah.
Guys, wardrobes out of this world. Shang-Chi's uniform or costume itself is made out of dragon scales. For me, the post-credit scene, first of all, Ling Ling said, Black Widow who? Mm-hmm. Right? You see that she's at her dad's compound and she's taking over things. And the way she sat in the chair, I wonder if it was a nod to Killmonger. Because I feel like that's how he sat in the throne.
Maybe that. Maybe Thanos.
Yeah, because she sat like, with her leg up, just like chilling. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of Killmonger, I love the way his Tai Lo welcomed Shang Chi and Ling Ling back. That's how you do it. You don't have to hate Auntie and take over the world. Killmonger should have had that welcome home. I was here for it. I'm curious now to see what her role is. I don't think she wants to be out of those streets. She lives thug life.
Yeah, no, I think she's gonna get recruited by your homegirl. What's her name from?
Valentina?
Yeah.
Valentina Fontaine. I don't know what's going to happen with her because we don't know after they were able to defeat, the real deal Deathseeker, right? After they were able to defeat him, we don't know where he left it off with his sister, but we do know that him and Katie go back to San Francisco.
Yeah. But you know what? His sister can find motivation to come after him. Oh, you killed our dad now. You know what I mean? Because she did stare at him while he was on the ground. You know what I mean? And then look back at Shang-Chi. And
they did slow that part down.
Yeah, so she could be salty about that. You could be salty about, you stood by and watched our mom die. You know what I mean? She could have some motivation about a few things.
Yeah. Guys, all in all, solid movie. How many tire tracks do you give it?
I give it 5 out of 5.
Yeah. It's 5 tire tracks for me. 5 rings, 10 rings.
5 rings, yeah.
Rewatchability is very high. This is, again, how you do an origin story. I'm curious to see what's next. Eternals has got to pay off. Maybe comment down below if you want us to do predictions before the Eternals. We'll go live and do something like that. But this is the way you set up the next phase of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way you do it.
Yeah, I wasn't worried.
I didn't know. I think we waited so long for Black Widow. I had expectations with that, and it was good. It was good, but it didn't deliver the same way. So I'm here for it.
It's one of those things. Like we know the ending of Black Widow, regardless of what happens in that movie. Mm-hmm. We know what happens to Black Widow, right? So the interest in Black Widow really isn't there versus Shang-Chi because now you're like, okay, what's next?
What's next? What's next for Shang-Chi? What's next for Katie? What's next for Ling Ling?
What's next for
Tai Lo? What's next for Wong? What's going on with Dr. Banner? There's so many possibilities. I'm excited, guys.
And why Captain Marvel had to run off so fast?
True. I thought he was going to come at Captain Marvel. I was bracing myself. Guys.
I mean, hopefully it's because Rogue's about to take her powers and kill her.
And there it was. There it was. He set me up. That was the setup, guys. Listen, if you've enjoyed talking with us as much as we do with you, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this video. It costs you nothing to share this magic with your friends, so be sure to hit that share button. Guys, until the next time.
Keep tripping.
Bye.